many months now we're going to see wages really go up?
You know, American workers' wages and salaries have continued to stagnate since the financial crisis of 2008, even as home costs, medical costs, and hours required to earn a true living have continued to rise. But the officers and directors of many of America's largest corporations have been spending scores of billions of dollars in quote-unquote buying back shares from their largest shareholders rather than investing those dollars in their employees. The result of this remarkable greed is that American workers for profitable companies still need housing, health, and welfare benefits just to make ends meet. Meanwhile, these large corporations are using the billions that they received from the Trump tax cuts to pump up their stock prices. Now, many of those in power are going to applaud these buybacks.
That companies repatriate their money and they use it for share buybacks and dividends. If that happens, that's fine. We know that that money will get invested right back in the economy and drive jobs, drive economic growth, drive wages, and drive prosperity.
They typically say that essentially those who receive the money from these buybacks invest their winnings in the economy.
You're going to see a steady incline in wages if we continue to see people feel good about the economy.
The problem with this particular view, however, is that, well, it's simply incorrect. It's just not where that money is going. For one thing, stock ownership in America is overwhelmingly concentrated in the hands of the wealthiest 10%, who own well over 80% of the nation's stock. Unlike working people who buy homes or start businesses when they earn more, the ultra-wealthy don't do that. When you already own 9 or 10 yachts, what good is an 11th yacht? Well, so what are these stock buybacks really about? What's the money for? Where does it go? The answer comes in the form of two very simple words: secondary markets. The markets where people manipulate and gamble on stock prices. When corporate managers buy back firms' shares on the secondary markets, they do so to drive up their own share prices and, of course, their own pay. The wealthy investors then, from whom they buy those shares, simply pocket the winnings and go off to gamble again on other shares on Wall Street. The whole routine then amounts to a game of mutual back-scratching by the ultra-wealthy investors, i.e. speculators, and the overpaid corporate executives. And again, all of this happens as ordinary Americans work for stagnating pay and rely increasingly ever more on public assistance simply to survive and make ends meet. Senator Sanders' Stop Walmart Act strikes at this two-sided scandal in a very simple, straightforward, elegant way. Fine, Walmart and other large firms, the act effectively says, you can go ahead and buy back your shares, but you can do that only if A, you pay your workers a true living wage, B, you afford all employees paid family and medical leave, and C, you limit the pay gap between your highest paid executives and your lowest paid workers to a non-obscene margin. Walton family, please help ensure that your workers are rewarded before you line your own pockets. In one single stroke, Senator Sanders thereby addresses both the abuse of share buybacks and the obscene underpayment of American working people by the very firms that helped to fuel the share trading casino that is Wall Street. Together with Senator Sanders, we can restore an economy that works for all Americans as it once did, and be rid of our strange new casino economy that more and more seems to enrich Wall Street while basically simply further impoverishing Main Street.